actually, in case you're wondering what's with the background change, I was just being lazy, and I didn't feel like setting up my computer on a piano bench and then a stack of biology books slash classic literature. So I'm just like, you know what, I'll just do it on my bed. And you have a nice Middle Earth map in the background. So, first of all, thank you very, 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 very much for your input as to my Hogwarts house. I can now sleep soundly. I am excited because, yeah, Ravenclaw is cool. I really, really like Ravenclaw. And it holds a lot of values that I possess. I have a very, like you were saying, I have a intense fascination with just the idea of knowledge in general. And I value intelligence very highly. And I'll start with what with the stuff for your Hogwartsy, you know, that. I took the quiz as well for you. And beforehand I was thinking about it, and I was like, well, what would actually be? I don't know. The obvious answer for you is Ravenclaw, because you're like literally the smartest person I know. And it just makes sense. But I also was thinking like, well, the answer that you'd think it would be Ravenclaw, but also Hufflepuff makes a lot of sense to me because you're just incredibly hardworking always, basically. So I took the quiz. And I got, you said there were percentages, I wrote them down, just a second. I got Hufflepuff at 72%, and Ravenclaw at 69% for you. Which was funny because those were very, very similar to the numbers, only a tiny bit reversed. By just like a couple percentages. So you're like a pretty much dead tie between Ravenclaw and Hufflepuff, which makes so much sense to me because you're very smart. You have a lot of intelligence, but you're also extremely hardworking. And I think maybe as a personal opinion, that you would be more Hufflepuffy than Ravenclawish because I've just always admired your just intensely ineffable work ethic. I mean, it's actually a little bit terrifying how good you are at working hard. And it's just amazing. So yeah. I don't know. My personal opinion, I mean, it's like right there on the edge between the two of them. But I think maybe Hufflepuff. Also, I'd like to address why you. Well, I understood why you thought or why you think that the books influenced my original house placement, which would make sense, except for that I got placed in Slytherin. So if I was, if I was being influenced by the books, Slytherin at the time that I read it would probably not be the one that I was unconsciously, subconsciously, channeling. You know what I mean? Because I didn't really have any, like, characters that I really liked in Slytherin. I mean, I like Draco, I guess, a lot. But not really the first time I read them through. I didn't love any of the Slytherin characters. Looking back, actually, most of my favorite characters were Ravenclaw, so there you go. But yeah, I don't know where I'm going with this. I don't know. I took my glasses off because I have something in my eye. Okay, Antistrophe. So I think, first of all, when I made the video, I said Antistrophes, plural, and it's a singular word thing. There's no S ever. It's an antistrophe. And you did say it right, yes. Antistrophe. So basically, what an antistrophe is, I don't really know how else to explain. It's when you use a clause or a phrase or a single word multiple times in a series, a section of sentences in order to make a point, or in order, sometimes it's just like a poetic thing. My hair is just not having it today. It's all over the place. Yeah, it's either to make a point, to emphasize something, or most of the time it just sounds really good, you know. But in rhetoric, it's used to make a point. But lots of times in literature and stuff, it's it sounds really good. I've got a couple examples. Let me find them. Okay, so here's an example from my own work in which I used the word inevitably several times in a row, and I think possibly this is an antistrophe. I'm not entirely sure about this one, but here it goes. And eventually, inevitably, he ended up at a pub. Inevitably, he fished a small sum of money out of his pocket, pleading with stuttering innocence and soft gray blue eyes. Inevitably, the mediator relented and let him play. So just the use of inevitably, that was a bad example to use because I can't say that word, over and over and over, is to make an emphasis, to make an emphasis, English, to make a point. Another example, I've got a couple here, I gotta find them. Abraham Lincoln, when he said government of the people, by the people, for the people. He was saying the people, the people, the people, and that was just, he wanted to emphasize the idea of the people in his speech. It's used in the Bible a lot, actually. I found a lot of biblical examples. One example is, when I was a child, I spoke as a child, I understood as a child, I thought as a child, but when I became a man, I put away childish things. Saying as a child, as a child, as a child, several times in a row, just so that you really grasp that concept. It's making a point. Here's another example from John Steinbeck's Grapes of Wrath, and it's a pretty common quote from it, so maybe you've heard of it, maybe you haven't, I don't know. But he's using the antistrophe, I'll be there, to emphasize the point, and I'll read it to you. It says, when there's a fight so hungry people can eat, I'll be there. When there's a cop beating up a guy, I'll be there. And when our folk eat the stuff they raise and live in the house they built, why, I'll be there. So, I'm just basically giving you examples now, and maybe I'm not explaining this well, I don't know, but yeah. So that's antistrophe. Apparently it can also be called an epistrophe, E-P-I something, epistrophe. I'm not entirely sure. I don't think there's a difference between epistrophe and antistrophe. But yeah, hope that made some small semblance of sense. And that was an alliteration. Your lava lamp explanation was intense and good, and yay. I liked it. It was just, wow. I think I understood everything. I think I got it. It was, yep, go science. Okay, so, that's all I have for today. I have to finish my lab report before tomorrow, and it's driving me crazy. It's like 15 pages long right now, and I'm not even done with it. Hope the cornfields are treating you well, and I will see you soon.